So in this video, we're going to see how to set up FTP to connect to our web hosting to transfer and update files. There are lots of different FTP programs and they all work much the same way. And I'm going to show you a couple of different options, but the one I'd recommend is free and available for all platforms, and it's called FileZilla. So if you just go to your browser and Google for FileZilla, then you'll find the main website here. And FileZilla is just a program that you can install on your computer to allow you to connect to your web space via FTP. So we want the FileZilla client, so click on that one. If you're on Mac OS as I am, then download that one. If you're on Windows or Linux, then it will hopefully give you the appropriate client to download. If not, then click on the Windows or Linux icons down there. Okay. If you're on a Mac, you'll get an option to download on the App Store, but we don't need to do that. You can if you like, but I'm going to go for the straightforward download option. Okay. Then find the file that you've downloaded, double click on it, same process in Windows and Mac, and agree to the terms and conditions. And this will then begin the installation process. It's pretty quick. On a Mac, I just need to double click again on FileZilla there and open. Windows, you'll probably get presented with the installer straight away. Then we'll click continue. You probably don't want the Yahoo search offer there, so I'd recommend clicking skip unless you want that. And again for Opera. And then it will run through the installation process. All done. So we click finish and FileZilla opens up for us. Click OK, and this is the FileZilla interface, which is very similar to other FTP programs. Not particularly user-friendly perhaps, but we'll get to grips with it. And in a couple of minutes, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. So you'll see on the left-hand side, we have our folder structure on my computer here. So you need to find your files that you've been working with. Mine are on the desktop. And there we go. So there's our index.html file and earth.jpg. You don't need to worry about these extra files here. They're just default Mac OS files, which we're going to completely ignore. All right, so now comes the time to connect to our site via FTP. I'm going to use the button on the top left there and create a new site. So we need the settings for our website to connect to FTP, which we get over in the control panel. And they're down here on the right hand side. So first off, you'll notice here that FTP is currently locked. This is a security feature of Eco Web Hosting to prevent other people accessing your files. You can either unlock FTP by time or by a specific IP address if you know that your IP address doesn't change. So if you know you're on a fixed IP address, then click unlock by IP. If you don't know that, then it's probably best to unlock by time, and best to pick the shortest time possible so that your FTP is as secure as it can be. So I'm going to go for 1 hour and click unlock FTP. Okay, now it's time to enter the FTP details. So first off, we've got our FTP server, which is ftp.stackcp.com. So I'm going to select that, copy, and then head back over to FileZilla and put that in the host name there. Then back over to get the username, which is just the domain name. So Rob Percival's test hosting package. You're obviously putting in your own website details, not mine here. We change the login type to normal. And we paste that domain name into the user field. While I've got it in the clipboard, I'm going to add it here in the site name as well. So I'll paste that in. Lovely. So you can have a collection of different sites and you can quickly choose between them within your FTP software. And then the password, you don't have to include that. You might want to type it in every time. If someone gets hold of your computer and they're able to log in and you leave the password here, then they will be able to access your files. That's okay, I think, while you're developing and just testing out an educational site. For a more seriously secure site, you probably want to enter the password each time. Okay, Then we'll just click connect. And as I say, I'm going to use save passwords for now, but you've got a couple of options there. You might not want to save the password, or you want to have a master password, which allows you to access all of the other passwords. I'll leave that up to you to choose. Make sure that you see stackcp.com in the certificate, and then I'd recommend always trusting that certificate from now on, and then clicking OK. And if you've entered all the details correctly, you should see public HTML there and the logging in successful message at the top there. So congratulations, connected to your site via FTP, and the files, as we saw in the previous video, are all inside public HTML. So I've just double clicked on that. We can spread that out so we can see the full file name. So at the moment, we've only got the index.html file. That's why the image here is not displaying correctly. So let's, for a little bit of practice, upload our first file via FTP. It's very easy. We'll take our earth.jpg file, and then I'm going to control click or right click on Windows and upload. And then you can see that has uploaded. The earth.jpg file is now on our server. And if I go back over and refresh this page, hurrah, the lovely Earth image displays. So we're connected to FTP and we've uploaded a file. Let's just quickly see how we edit files using FTP. So I'm going to take my index.html file, control click again, and view/edit. And this takes me to my editor. And you can see I've got the code of my Hello World page there. So just a very simple edit. Let's say I want to include other worlds in my announcement there. So we'll just change that twice. And then I'll use Command S to save, or Control S on Windows. Go back over to FileZilla, and you should see that the file has been changed. Do we want to upload this file back to the server? Yes. That will then upload our edited version of the file. And if I go back and refresh, you can see that edit has taken place. So it's as simple as that. I should offer a small word of warning. Editing in that way is very fast and simple, but if you have internet connectivity problems, you can on occasion get issues. If, for example, it tries to upload the edited version of the file but it can't, then occasionally you'll find that the file will be reduced to a file size of 0. That has happened to me before, so you do need to be sure that your internet connection is good if you're going to be editing this way. To be absolutely sure that that's not going to happen, you can download the file, edit it offline, then save it, and then upload it just in the same way we did with the Earth image. So up to you how you want to do that, but again, when you're learning, it's probably best to do things as simply as possible, so I'd recommend the editing directly method just to get moving as quickly as you can. Alright, so that's how we set up FileZilla and use it to edit and upload our files. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to show you how to use Firefox and Fire FTP, which is an alternative FTP client, which is the one I use in future videos. Sadly, this isn't being actively developed anymore, which is why I recommend using FileZilla. But if you do want to have everything exactly like it is in the videos while you're learning, then do feel free to use Firefox and Fire FTP. Otherwise, you can jump over the next 2 lectures and head straight on to the end of chapter quiz for HTML. Good luck!